TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Hey Wrestlecade, this is MAD USA, made in the USA, baby, and it is so great to be here. This is my first time at Wrestlecade, and it's so good to see everybody from the past, now, and the future talent of today.
Here we are, Wrestlecade 2017, inside the Benton Convention Center. Blake Chadwick alongside professional wrestling legend, the One Man Gang. Gang, how's your weekend so far?
Oh man, it's beautiful here. I'm glad to be here. I'm seeing a lot of like an old high school reunion, guys I hadn't seen in 30 years. Getting to meet up with them and shake their hand, give them a little hug, like that. It's always fun to come here, get to talk to the fans, because my whole career I was a heel basically. I talk to the fans, I get fired back in them days. So now I get to talk to them, sign some autographs, take some pictures. I'm having a great time here at Wrestlecade up here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Certainly times have changed a little bit, but gang, when you talk to some of these fans, what are some of their best memories of you in your career?
Some of them will come up to me. I remember the Hakeem, the African Dream, but the old school fans always One Man Gang. I remember you with Divine Erics, or I remember you in Mid-South. I remember you in UWF fighting Terry Gordy, or in Texas, you and Bruiser Brody tore the house down or something. They were like classic old school wrestling fans, But the younger, I guess, they always go to Hakeem.
Of course. A lot of educated fans here in the Mid-Atlantic region. So, Hakeem, One Man Gang.
I'm from the Mid-Atlantic region. I'm from Spartanburg.
Indeed, right down south.
Spartanburg, South Carolina, baby. Right there, One Man Gang. So I want to give a shout out to Jay Eagle.
So before we go, what are you up to these days?
I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm kind of crippled up, bad back, bad knees, bad ankles, so kind of just take it easy and trying to get our house back in shape after the flood from last year, but we're getting there. One Man Gang shows up every once in a while at one of these events and, sits around and talks to people like you.
Well, certainly a pleasure, and the fans here certainly love seeing the One Man Gang, so certainly wish you the best in the future.
And the One Man Gang loves seeing the fans.
Indeed, and we certainly hope to see you here next year at Wrestlecade Weekend. All right, here we are, Wrestlecade 2017, inside the Benton Convention Center at the Barber Shop with Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Brutus, welcome to Wrestlecade.
Hey, welcome to the Barber Shop.
So how's your weekend going so far?
Hey, everything's great, man. The crowd's been great, the people are great. Love getting out with the fans.
So what's your favorite part about coming to these conventions? And you're going all over the country, you're meeting fans, you're talking to people that have seen you throughout the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. What are some of the great memories to talk to these fans
just
about?
all those crazy questions, that the fans can come up with. What about this, Bruce? What about that? It sparks old memories, it brings back all the good times,
And here we are in the barbershop, now 25 years since we last saw this. What are some of your memories? Obviously there's a big memory, but what are some of your other memories about this great set?
Well, I'll tell you, I did a barbershop with Andre the Giant, okay? And it was probably the best interview I've ever seen him do, because he didn't like the interview things. When he came out and did a whole segment, and it was incredible. It just gives me goosebumps like thinking about it. And it was a real honor, because he was such a legend in our business.
And Brutus, still here in incredible shape throughout your career. Still getting in the squared circle these days?
Nope, I just retired from the ring, but I do got a new book coming out, so BrutusBeefcake.com.
You tell our great fans about it.
Hey, and it's a tell-all, but it doesn't tell any bad stuff. Because I'm about the good stuff, and having fun, and I'm very blessed. God has blessed me, gave me a second chance, because that horrible accident I suffered in 1990 brought me back to the ring when they said that it was not possible for Brutus to ever wrestle again, beat all the odds, and so just happy to be here, glad to be around. And still running the roads.
All right, so here we are, Wrestlecade Weekend 2017, inside the barbershop with Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Okay, do it.
Not yet.
All right, here we go. How good's your mic on this?
It's good. I'll pick it up. All right, folks, welcome back here, Wrestlecade Weekend 2017, inside the Benton Convention Center. Blake Chadwick alongside professional wrestling legend Dutch Mantel. Dutch, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's always great. I came to Wrestlecade last year, big success. I came this year. It seems to be a big success. And the amazing thing about it this year is that they have competition tonight.
Absolutely.
They got Starcade. Is it Starcade?
Yes.
And when you got competition, you think it would dilute the crowd, but it hasn't. So, and it's a testament to being a wrestling fan. And I've always said, what's a wrestling fan always about?
Absolutely. And Dutch, over 5,000 fans here in the Benton Convention Center. A lot of rich wrestling history here in the Mid-Atlantic region. What are some of your favorite memories here from the Mid-Atlantic?
Leaving. No, I didn't work here that much. I worked here maybe a year. I remember the Kansas Jayhawks, the Bobby Jaggers, God rest his soul. But it was a great territory. And what makes any territory great is I'm more partial to Memphis. Is the fans, the loyalty of the fans, and how passionate they are about the product. And here they were very, very passionate, in Memphis, and that's what I remember mostly about this area here.
And Dutch, coming up tonight in our main event, the Impact Global Championship will be on the line. Eli Drake, Johnny Impact, and a man that you're very familiar with, managed him for a long time, Jack Swagger. He will be in the house, and you will be ringside. What's your game plan going into that match?
Well, I hadn't really thought about it that much because to me, I've never planned that far out. So today I'll sit down with Jack and we'll come up with a game plan. And then it's up to Jack to execute.
And that very well could happen. Possibly new champion coming down. And before we get out of here, Dutch, what are some of your favorite things when you come to these conventions?
Well, I think seeing fans that I haven't seen in years. It's like almost homecoming. And it's homecoming for a lot of fans too because everybody seems to know a lot of other people.
Absolutely.
Because they ran in the same circles for years. And one thing I've always loved about the wrestling profession, when you come here, you don't see a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing, bitching, because we have one product and we all have in common, and we're all passionate about, and that's pro wrestling. And pro wrestling, I think, it doesn't divide people, it brings people together. I've been told a lot of times that, let's say young kids, but they're grown up now,
Of course.
that their bonding time with their daddy was doing a wrestling program. Because the other times they may have fought like cats and dogs, but when wrestling came on, they sat down as a family, as a father and a son, and enjoyed something together. I've been told that at least 50 times by guys, and they thank me for being in the wrestling business and thank me for what I've contributed to it. And I appreciate that.
Certainly a lot of great memories for many of us, starting right there with our families as it relates to professional wrestling. Great weekend here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Dutch Mantel, thank you very much, and we'll see you later on here in Winston-Salem. Here we are, Wrestlecade 2017, inside the packed Benton Convention Center. I am Blake Chadwick, joined by professional wrestling legend D'Lo Brown. D'Lo, how's your weekend so far?
So far, it's great. I mean, look at the atmosphere here. You got a packed house. You got wrestling going on in the ring. You got fans all over the place buying merchandise that is going that style. It can't get any better.
So D'Lo, you've been in the business for many, many years. What are you up to these days?
Well, I do a lot of work out in the Pacific Northwest with WCWC. I'm also have my own training facility out in Vegas called the Snake Pit. So I'm staying busy. I'm hanging out, having fun.
So it's been a little while since you've been inside the squared circle.
Yeah.
Is there any chance that you'll be returning anytime soon?
Bro, never say never. But the last time I checked, I'm getting really old. But never say never because, hey, it's wrestling, right?
Indeed. All right, so D'Lo Brown here at WrestleCade weekend. We'll see you a little bit. Here we are, WrestleCade 2017, inside the Benton Convention Center. Blake Chadwick alongside wrestling legend Billy Gunn. Billy,
I don't know if I'm a legend or not.
I think a lot of people here would like to say so.
They have said that actually. So yes, I guess I have to accept that. I don't want to accept that because legend, like I associate legend with old.
Well, that is certainly not the case.
I think it is the case because yesterday I think it was the 24th that they tweeted that it was 20 years ago yesterday that me and Road Dogg won our first tag title.
Indeed.
20 years ago.
That's a long time.
Like, I don't really ever picture that until it came across. Like, holy crap, 20 years ago, that was a long time.
Indeed it was.
It was a long time.
But fast forward 20 years later, a lot of accomplishments for you, and you're still active today in incredible shape.
Thanks.
You're wrestling all over the entire world,
I am.
including New Japan Pro Wrestling. Can you bring us a little insight on that experience going out to the Far East?
It was amazing. I mean, I went last year, like they're in the tag league right now. I went last year, went to tag leagues, first time going over to, for New Japan, and they were amazing. They were awesome. Like first class everything. They were just super cool. It was awesome for me because I always wanted to work. I worked over there for WWE, but it was nothing like this. This was awesome. It was a full month doing tag stuff. It was great. And then got to do the thing in LA, the G1 special. Got to work in Tanahashi, which is awesome, like crazy good. But those shows were good. It's just an all around. It's cool to know that and it was awesome for me to know that at my age and what I'm doing, and I don't feel old. My insides feel old.
Certainly don't look old.
but it was awesome that they asked me to do it. So, you know, especially at this stage in my career. But now I'm just having fun and doing those things, and it's great for me.
So you talk about tag team wrestling a little bit, obviously throughout your career, a tag team specialist in a way. What do you see in the tag team ranks recently? Any teams that kind of pop out at you that you're looking at?
They were ask me that. I mean, you know, I think if the Revival can stay healthy, they're worth watching. You know, it's one of those things. It's bad breaks, and it happens. It just happens. But you know, I watch the product. I don't really look inside the product that much because I'm just not involved anymore.
Right.
So I mean, Revival's my guys. I mean, I'm a huge Young Bucks guy.
It's hard to argue with that.
Yeah, like everybody, like maybe it doesn't fit my style, but doesn't mean I don't like them. I'm a huge Young Bucks guy. I've got to work them actually over in Australia a couple months ago.
Okay.
And they sang my song the entire time we worked there. And I went, okay, I get you guys. You guys are just having fun and making a bunch of money. How do you hate guys for that?
Yeah,
you just don't.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a little jealousy.
So I also have to give my kid a love because he's like just hurt himself. He's starting to work now. He's amazing. Just blew out his ACL, so now he's on the shelf for about 6 months. But if I don't do that, he'll get hot at me. And you know, it's that father-son thing. Like, I don't care if he gets hot at me.
Of course. So, Billy, before we get out of here tonight, you and Carlito one-on-one.
Yes.
How do you feel about that match?
I think it's going to be awesome. I haven't really had a chance to work Carlito a lot. I'm really looking forward to this. I was getting ready just a little while ago by eating apples because I thought maybe if I ate them too, it'd give me an edge of some sort. But I don't think it will. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show.
And I am as well, and I think the 5,000 plus fans inside the Benton Convention Center will be ready for that.
And there is that many in here, too, let me assure you.
Yeah, we are certainly packed tight. So once again, Billy Gunn, I am Blake Chadwick. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the rest of Wrestlecade weekend.
And if you don't, I got 2 words for you. Suck it.
All right, folks, here we are live inside the Benton Convention Center, Wrestlecade Weekend 2017. Blake Chadwick alongside professional wrestling legend and 2017 WWE Hall of Famer, Teddy Long. How you doing, Teddy?
I'm good, player.
All right, so we got a great weekend here, 5,000 plus people in attendance. How's the weekend treating you so far?
Well, the weekend's treating me pretty good. You know, this was the first time I've had the opportunity to be at the Wrestlecade. I want to thank my man Lou and Mike, a guy over at High Spots, and a lot of other people that makes all this possible. And I'm just glad to be here, brother. This is outstanding, and I'm having a great time.
So, Teddy, I know you've done a bunch of these conventions throughout the entire United States. What's your favorite part about coming here and meeting the fans?
Well, my favorite part is just to meet the fans. You know, I love, to meet the people. Some people had the first opportunity to meet me. That feels great. And there are a lot of people that met me before, but they come back to see me again, and I really appreciate that. And I just love giving back and giving my time to the fans. That's the greatest part of it for me.
So, Teddy, obviously the 2017 Hall of Fame induction, very special to you. What have you been up to since then, and what is your role right now within the world of professional wrestling?
Well, what I've been up to since the Hall of Fame, I do a lot of wrestling conventions. I do a lot of independent shows. I'm basically working in Florida for FEW, Fight and Evolution Wrestling. I'm the general manager of that show there, so we're doing a lot of great things there. And Blake, I want you people to know that you're a big part of that too. And, that's it. I do a lot of independent shows, a lot of wrestling conventions. I do a lot of meet and greets, and so I'm just having a ball, man.
And, Teddy, we did see a little bit of a cameo about a year ago. You possibly be coming back as the general manager. Any potential second run or third run for you as general manager?
Well, in my eyesight, I believe that, and not in fact, I know that there's one more run in me. You know, I know I got that. So it's kind of left up to Vince and the WWE and see if they want to capitalize on this one more run.
And we'll see what's coming up next. Follow Teddy Long right here, Wrestlecade Weekend, Benton Convention Center, Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Holla.
Here we are once again, Wrestlecade Weekend 2017 inside the Benton Convention Center. Blake Chadwick with professional wrestling international star Kikataru.
Konnichiwa.
So Kikataru,
Yes.
you're here in the United States now. What have you been doing since your arrival?
I'm around the United States for wrestle. I'm so happy. This is my dreams come true. Very happy. But this country so difficult. Japanese live here, so some income check, income proof, health insurance, so difficult. But I'm so enjoy second drive in United States.
Well, that's certainly great to hear. What have you been doing so far at Wrestlecade Weekend?
Oh, so I'm so excited. So many legends around here. Oh my gosh, Brutus Beefcake. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, like a wrestling fan.
Absolutely, over 150 stars of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Kikataru, any chance we see you in the ring later on tonight at Wrestlecade?
Yeah, of course, I want wrestle legends.
Well, that's certainly an interesting prospect. Coming up a little bit later on tonight at Wrestlecade. You never know what you can find right here in the Benton Convention Center. Wrestlecade Weekend 2017 right here in the Benton Convention Center. Blake Chadwick alongside international wrestling legend Juventud Guerrera.
Once again with the only one, with the juiciest one. You're not talking with the great one. You're not talking with the best one, but you're talking with the juiciest one in the planet.
Yes, you are. And Juvi, last year you set the world on fire. One of the top matches we've ever seen here at Wrestlecade Weekend. A crazy six-man Lucha Libre matchup. You're going at it again tonight. How are you going to be able to top last year?
Well, that's a good question, and that's why we're going to prove it tonight. What is the juice about it? So tonight I'm going to be teaming with Super Crazy, another crazy super guy that has been teaming with me in WWE. So that's inspiring us, to get better and to be here in Wrestlecade and go over the limit, go over the top. And I know my opponents are going to do the same. So tonight we're going to rock it, baby.
So Juvi, obviously a long history in professional wrestling, but from what I understand, you've kind of delved into the music business a little bit.
Yeah, actually I started doing my own music. I started doing music with rap and then a little bit with electronic music. And actually, if you want to take a look on my new website, it's luchamaster.com. So you can see my music there if you want to listen to it or if you want to buy it. Just get Juicy. Actually, and I have a Juicy, the juiciest shop ever. You can pay online now. It's a very professional website. Take a look, and I'm celebrating my 25th anniversary of career. And I'm having this amazing t-shirt.
Look at that.
With half of Ray, half of myself, celebrating, our 25 year of career. I'm very happy, I'm very excited to be here at Wrestlecade, one of the biggest events of the year. You gotta get juicy.
25 years, still looking like he's in year one. Looking in incredible shape right here. Juventud Guerrera coming up later on. It's going to be a classic, so certainly check that out. So Juventud, as you obviously know, over the last year or so, the cruiserweight division has been revamped throughout professional wrestling, specifically in the WWE. What are your thoughts on this resurgence?
Well, I mean, that kind of keep me going, because after 25 years, you've been in the business for so long, and this kind of get me going again, because all of these guys, they're super talented and inspired me, that kind of inspired them to be in this new revolution kind of style. And for me, it's a thing too. I gotta keep going, because like you say, I keep myself in shape. I try to. It's not an easy thing, but I do it because I love this business. I love it so much. It's in my vein. I'm second generation, and for me to be able to finally to see this explosion of cruiserweight division after 20 years, when we're in WCW, that's a long time, because they were trying to build this cruiserweight division once or two times before this one, right? And finally it's happening, and I'm really excited to have the chance and the possibility to go back there and do something and get juicy with them.
It'll be 205 Live very soon with Juventud Guerrera. So Juvi, thank you again for joining us here at Wrestlecade 2017.
And remember, when the juice says so, the juice makes it.
Here we are once again, Benton Convention Center, Wrestlecade Weekend 2017. Blake Chadwick along with Gillberg.
What's up, Blake? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thank you. How are you doing so far this weekend?
I'm loving it, man. Wrestlecade, what can you not love? You know what I mean? It's the best time in the world.
You come here, you see thousands of fans. What do they normally say to you and what they remember about Gillberg?
They love it. They just, man, every time you see it, they go, oh my God, there he is. And they start cracking up because, you know, it's a funny gimmick. And they love it. And I just love doing it, man, because it's me, you know what I mean?
Indeed. And you go back about a year, Goldberg returning to the WWE. How did that make you feel when you saw him come back out there?
Actually, I felt really good because what's it do? It gives me a chance to go back up, which I did get to do. And it also, when everybody sees him, what do they think of? Me.
Indeed.
And what he said to me was, when I saw him up there, he goes, thanks a lot, brother. I said, for what? He said, keeping me relevant. He said, you've been out there for the last 10 years. I haven't been, and everybody knows me because of you. And I was like, my pleasure, brother. Thank you for feeding me, basically.
So you touched on it a little bit. You did make a brief return to Monday Night Raw back in the early part of 2017. Yep. Can you bring us a little bit of insight on that experience about how you returned to the WWE and the differences between the last time you were there?
Well, it's way different now as far as it's more, back then it was like a family, now it's like a corporation. You know what I mean? It's more of a business. You know, you got to be more straight in line, watch your P's and Q's. You know, it's more of a business. Back when I was, you know, up there, it was a lot more relaxed, laid back. But of course, you didn't have the rules and everything that you do nowadays. So that's the only thing. But it's still as much fun. I had a blast. Everybody's super polite. It's just totally awesome, man. You can't, and to be honest with you, you can't answer a better place to work.
That's certainly great to hear, and it's been about 9 or 10 months since we saw you last on Monday Night Raw. What have you been up to since then?
I've been, you know, doing the independent scene, doing, you know, my normal work. I own a construction business, and I do that. Plus, I do wrestle, and you know, I do the Wrestlecades and all that stuff. You know, got to do that.
Is there any chance we see Gillberg tonight possibly enter the Battle Royal?
I don't know. They're talking to me. Maybe.
So we might see the sparklers go off a little bit later on?
Maybe.
All right.
Never know.
Certainly something to check out here. Once again, Blake Chadwick, Gillberg
you
here
got
at
it,
Wrestlecade 2017.
Remember, Wrestlecade, baby.
Blake Chadwick here at Wrestlecade Weekend 2017 alongside professional wrestling legend, Dr. Tom Prichard. Tom, how you doing so far?
Oh, I'm having a great time, man. Something like this, Wrestlecade especially, man. There's so many great wrestling fans. There's so many people, so many old friends you get to see. This is a blast. I can promise you, if you're a wrestling fan, this is where you want to be. This is where I want to be.
Certainly where I want to be, and we have about 5,000 others that have the exact same thoughts. Tomorrow, for the very first time here at Wrestlecade, we're celebrating 25 years of Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Some thoughts on that tomorrow?
It's hard to believe it's been over 25 years, man. Jim Cornette gave me and so many other guys a huge opportunity when there was no opportunity for wrestling left. And to celebrate over 25 years of Smoky Mountain Wrestling with all the guys is unbelievable, man. The people are going to get to hear a lot of stories. They're going to hear how we thought about the territory. We're going to hear a lot about how things went down, I think. And it's going to be very, very cool. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, especially Bobby Blaze, who I haven't seen in years, man.
Bobby Blaze over here, along with over 150 of the past, present, and future of professional wrestling. You, of course, in Smoky Mountain, a tag team specialist. Tag team resurgence here over the last few years in the business. What are your thoughts on some of the progression you've seen in the tag team ranks?
I am so impressed with the tag teams basically have come along recently, WWE and NXT. You know, when you're a tag team, you really have to know your partner's moves. You gotta get on that same wavelength and think alike, think together. And I think that's what WWE, the Performance Center, and all the coaches down there have been preaching. I'm so happy to see it come back. I'm so happy to see the tag team revolution. The tag team revolution. Man, I'm looking forward to seeing new teams.
Is there any tag team out there on the scene today that reminds you of the Heavenly Bodies?
Oh man, the Evolution, not the Evolution. They got hurt, man.
Revival.
Yes. Thank you, not Revolution.
That seems to be a theme here in the Mid-Atlantic.
It really is, man. Those kids are young kids. Those two guys are exceptional. And when I saw them, I immediately thought old school. And I knew they had to watch Rock and Roll Wrestling Express. I knew they had to watch Heavenly Body. I knew they had to watch the old school teams. The Revival, man. I'm sorry, I knew the names. been a long day. That's all it is, man. But yeah, the revival really is.
You can really see the influence of the Mid-Atlantic throughout the entire world of professional wrestling all the way here into 2017. So before we go, Dr. Tom, any parting thoughts for our great fans?
Again, Wrestlecade is one of the greatest festivals, one of the greatest conventions there is, man. You get to see some of the greats and have a good time, man. We all like talking to fans because we're fans ourselves. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, appreciate it. Dr. Tom Prichard right here at Wrestlecade 2017. Here we are at Wrestlecade Weekend 2017. Blake Chadwick alongside international wrestling star Super Crazy. Super Crazy, how's your weekend going so far?
Awesome, man. Awesome. Really, I'm happy to be here, so I'm ready for tonight.
So tonight, you have a big 6-man Lucha Libre style tag team match, something you have a lot of experience in on the same side as one of your compadres for many years, Juventud Guerrera. What are you looking for in that matchup?
The Mexicools is back, baby.
The Mexicools are back, Super Crazy. Anything else? What are you up to these days here besides Wrestlecade?
What's that?
What else are you doing these days?
I get a lot of fun, you know. I meet a lot of guys like fucking long time ago. I didn't see them, you know. I'm happy. I'm really happy, man. I'm really happy.
That's good to know, and it's great to see you right here at Wrestlecade. Super Crazy. He's got a big 6-man tag coming up later on, and that will surely be crazy right here at Wrestlecade 2017.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Here we are at Wrestlecade 2017. Blake Chadwick alongside professional wrestling star Swoggle. Welcome to Winston-Salem.
This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. So when I got asked to take part in Wrestlecade, it's like, all right, it's gonna be a fun time. Mutual wrestling convention event. Last week I looked at the lineup. I was like, ooh, big lineup. Get here today. I was like, oh my god, this is huge. It has been. I've told everyone today, this is one of my most fun conventions and events I've ever been a part of. This is fun. This makes me happy because it's wrestling fans coming out to support professional wrestling in general. It's awesome. I'm having a ton of fun today.
Well, that's great to hear. Over 150 stars of yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Any chance we might see you in the Battle Royal a little bit later on?
I hope so. Because no one's lifting me.
No.
Let's be honest, I'm really heavy. Really lifting.
I don't think anyone's going to
have a good chance.
Able to eliminate you in that Battle Royal. But besides this convention, other conventions you mentioned, what are you up to these days?
Independent wrestling. The love for professional wrestling is back in full force on the independents again. I'm having fun.
That's great to hear. Great to see Swoggle here at Wrestlecade 2017.
I got one more question for you. How is it like seeing some of the guys? You see these guys like grew up watching.
Yeah.
The guys you idolize.
The crazy thing is, like, I went over and said hi to Jerry Lawler, Foley, Jake Roberts. Then you go Rock and Roll Express and Spirit Squad and Justin Gabriel and Ryback. There's so many different eras of professional wrestling here. It's absolutely incredible what you guys have done.
70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. It all keeps going right here at Wrestlecade Weekend. All right, here we are, Wrestlecade 2017 inside the Benton Convention Center. Blake Chadwick, Lana Starr, Dan Masters, and the women of wrestling. How's everything going so far?
It's a rare occasion you get the two of us in the same place, and I don't know. I'm under protest. I don't stand side by side with Lana Starr. You're keeping us separated because she's bad news in the world of WoW.
The only reason I'm here is because he's here.
I would say we have a little tension here between these two, but Lana, how's your weekend so far?
My weekend has been awesome. All my fans have come out and lined up and got pictures and autographs, and they're all going to come see me tonight at the big show. I've got some things up my sleeve.
Well, that's certainly going to be interesting coming up a little bit later on. For everyone out there, can you give them a little bit more information about WoW?
WOWE.com. WoW Superheroes is on all the social media. Find out what's going to happen. Will Lana ever recapture the WoW World Championship? That's the real question. Somebody get David McLean on the phone. Forget the Beast, right?
Forget the Beast, forget Jungle Girl. Everybody wants to see the belt back on Lana Starr.
Well, for all we know, that might happen tonight. But thank you for joining me here, and I hope you have a great rest of the weekend at Wrestlecade 2017. Here we are, Wrestlecade 2017. Blake Chadwick with professional wrestling legend, former WWE Women's Champion, Molly. Molly, how are you doing?
Really good, thanks.
How's the weekend treating you so far?
So far, it's been awesome.
So obviously, professional wrestling legend, well-documented history in the business. What are you up to right now?
I'm currently training at a professional wrestling school called the Academy in Minneapolis with Sean Davari and Ken Anderson.
And you've seen in recent years a resurgence in women's wrestling. How do you feel like you helped blaze the trail for that?
I don't consider myself a trailblazer. I mean, I was a part of women's wrestling, and maybe if some kids saw me when they were little and they thought it was cool, maybe that helped them want to get into it. But I don't consider myself. I mean, there was already women way before me that kind of set the ball in motion.
So you see the women today. How do you feel the styles have changed, and what do you see coming into the future for women's wrestling?
The women are way better today than I ever was. I mean, not only do they know all the moves, but they all look like superheroes. I mean, amazing costumes, the hair, the charisma. I mean, I think the girls today are like heads and tails about what I was.
So you're training, you see these women each and every week. Any chance you might step back in the ring?
If the price is right.
Always a good answer. All right, so here we are, Benton Convention Center, Wrestlecade 2017 with the women's champion, Molly.
TitleMatchNetwork.com